Imagine a world plunged into darkness every evening. No flick of a switch to banish the night. For most of human history, that was reality. The simple light bulb didn't just illuminate our homes. It fundamentally reshaped how we live, work, and even sleep.
Today, we're tracing the dazzling evolution of the light bulb. You'll discover the surprising pre-filament attempts at electric light, the dramatic race to create a practical and long-lasting bulb, the decades of incandescent dominance, and the energy-saving revolution sparked by LEDs. Get ready to see this everyday object in a whole new light. For millennia, humanity's relationship with light after sunset was limited and labor-intensive. Fire, in its various forms, torches, candles, oil lamps, was the primary source. These methods were often smoky, dangerous, and provided limited illumination. Imagine trying to read, work, or navigate your home with flickering candlelight or the dim glow of an oil lamp. The length of the day dictated the rhythm of life. Productive hours were confined to daylight, and darkness brought an end to most activities. The desire for a safe, reliable, and bright source of artificial light was a powerful driving force. Numerous inventors recognized this fundamental need and embarked on the challenging quest to electrify illumination, long before a practical light bulb even existed. Their struggle wasn't just technical, it was a race against the limitations of existing knowledge and materials, a burning ambition to conquer the night. The idea of electric light predates Thomas Edison's famous invention by decades. In the early 19th century, pioneers experimented with various forms of electric lighting. Humphrey Davy in 1802 demonstrated the first electric light by passing electricity through a thin strip of platinum, producing a brief glow, essentially the first incandescent light, albeit impractical. The arc lamp, which produced light by creating an electric arc between two carbon rods, emerged in the early to mid-1800s. Inventors like Warren de la Rue and William State made advancements, and arc lamps were even used for some public lighting. However, they were incredibly bright, produced harsh light, required constant maintenance as the carbon rods burned away, and were unsuitable for domestic use. These early electric lights were more like powerful novelties or specialized tools than practical home illumination. The challenge remained to create a small, affordable, long-lasting, and safe electric light source for the everyday consumer. The late 19th century witnessed an intense race among inventors to perfect the incandescent light bulb, a bulb that produces light by heating a filament until it glows. Numerous individuals, including Joseph Swan in Britain, were making significant progress. Swan even demonstrated a working incandescent bulb in 1878, before Edison's more widely recognized breakthrough. However, Swan's early bulbs had a short lifespan due to the limitations of the vacuum and the filament material. Thomas Edison, with his methodical approach and the resources of his Menlo Park laboratory, focused on finding the right combination of a high-resistance filament material, a good vacuum within the glass bulb to prevent oxidation, and a reliable electrical circuit. After numerous experiments with various materials, including carbonized paper, Edison's team achieved a breakthrough in October 1879. Their carbon filament bulb burned for over 13 hours, proving the concept was viable. Edison then focused on improving the vacuum, the filament material, eventually using carbonized bamboo which lasted significantly longer, and developing a complete electrical system for power generation and distribution. While Edison is often credited solely with inventing the light bulb, it's more accurate to say he perfected it and, crucially, created the infrastructure that made widespread adoption possible. The incandescent bulb, with its warm, steady glow, would go on to dominate the world of artificial lighting for over a century. Following Edison's success, the incandescent light bulb rapidly became a household staple across the globe. Factories churned out millions of bulbs, and the world began to experience the transformative power of readily available electric light. Streets were illuminated, extending the day and making cities safer at night. Homes were brighter, allowing for more evening activities and fundamentally altering domestic life. The design of the incandescent bulb saw incremental improvements over time, with refinements in filament materials, like tungsten, introduced in the early 1900s, the quality of the vacuum, and manufacturing processes. In the latter half of the 20th century, the halogen lamp emerged as a more efficient alternative to the standard incandescent. Halogen bulbs contain a small amount of halogen gas, like iodine or bromine, inside the bulb. This gas reacts with tungsten vapor given off by the filament, redepositing it back onto the filament, allowing the bulb to burn hotter and brighter with a longer lifespan and slightly better energy efficiency than traditional incandescents. Halogen bulbs found widespread use in car headlights, spotlights, and some types of indoor lighting, offering a brighter, wider light source. However, they still operated on the same basic principle of heating a filament and were not a radical departure in terms of energy consumption. The 21st century has ushered in a lighting revolution driven by light-emitting diodes, or LEDs. The underlying technology of LEDs has been around since the early 20th century, with early LEDs emitting only low-intensity red light. However, breakthroughs in materials science throughout the latter half of the 20th century, particularly the development of blue LEDs in the 1990s by Isamu Akasaki, Hiroshi Amano, and Shuji Nakamura, who later won the Nobel Prize in Physics for their work, paved the way for high-brightness white LEDs. Unlike incandescent and halogen bulbs that generate light by heating a filament, LEDs produce light through a semiconductor process. When an electric current passes through the semiconductor material, it emits photons, light. This process is significantly more energy efficient, as much less energy is lost as heat. LED bulbs boast dramatically longer lifespans, often lasting tens of thousands of hours compared to the few thousand hours of an incandescent bulb. They are also more durable, produce less heat, and offer greater flexibility in terms of color temperature and design. As concerns about energy consumption and environmental impact have grown, LEDs have rapidly become the dominant lighting technology for homes, businesses, and public spaces, marking a profound shift in how we illuminate our world. The evolution of the light bulb has had an immeasurable impact on human civilization. From extending our waking hours and boosting productivity to making our homes and cities safer at night, electric light has fundamentally altered the rhythm of our lives. The transition from inefficient incandescent bulbs to energy-saving LEDs represents not just a technological upgrade, but a crucial step towards a more sustainable future. Think about the vast amounts of energy saved globally by this switch, reducing our carbon footprint and conserving precious resources. The simple act of choosing an LED bulb is a small but significant contribution to a brighter future for our planet. The journey from a fragile glowing filament to a durable, efficient semiconductor has illuminated not just our physical spaces, but also the path towards a more responsible way of living.
So, the next time you flick a light switch, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey of the light bulb. From early sparks of ingenuity to the energy-efficient brilliance of LEDs, it's a story of human innovation constantly striving to banish the darkness and improve our world. What kind of light bulbs do you use in your home and why? What do you think will be the next big innovation in lighting technology? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this illuminating journey through history, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories behind everyday objects, and share it with anyone who's ever wondered about the magic of light.